guys, in this video we are going to look at what class looks like in real time. So in real time I'm always going to have Slack open at all times, obviously. And at the beginning of class I'm going to pull up our Simply Book system, which you've interacted with before in a prior video. And so here I'm going to see, oh look, Terrence is signed up for 1 hour. I'm going to take Terrence. So the first thing I'm going to do is just star him, put him up with all of my starred students. And then at some point, whenever class starts, he's going to say hello. And so here's our student. Right now, obviously, it says that we don't have class time. But during class time, it would send the entire hello message. And depending on what the student is working on, or if it's their first class, you'll see a few different things come up. All that is generally pretty automatic. But the next thing you're really going to want to look for is just go to Rabbit and make sure. So we've looked at Rabbit before. Terrence is in our video room. That's super good. And so we're all set over there. And so then, where did this go? We're going to look and see, what is Terrence working on? And just for pretend, we're going to say that Terrence is working on algebra today. And so we're going to find the worksheet that he's working on, and we're going to send him that worksheet. We've mentioned before, the Google Drive download gives you a very quick drag and drop, so it's very simple. And then anything that's in the array, it's automatically going to send the question. So the student is going to type the answer to the question, and based on whether it's right or wrong, sometimes the VMH will automatically respond. And then if it's wrong, obviously, so we're going to want to say no. All these things, we're going to want to make them happen as quickly as possible, right? Now we have to say yes and next to get the next question. But we don't want there to be a huge delay, right? So we know what the answer is. The answer is 9. It says it right up here. And so as soon as 9 comes up, yes, next, and we're going to the next question. Obviously, if the student has to wait for a real long time, it's just, it disrupts the flow of the class and the student just gets bored and starts to disconnect and probably go on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, which is not what we want. But then also, if the student takes a real long time, so now here I haven't had a response from Terrence in a little while, depending on the complexity of the question, this question, the answer is fairly simple. So I'm going to be like, hey, you still there? Just to check in and make sure that he didn't totally disappear. Oh, he is still here. Super awesome. Okay, he's thinking. And that's super good, right? So we can use that as just a moment to have a bit of conversationality as well in the thing. Now, normally, if you are actually working with these students, you're going to have multiple students. So maybe you're going to go up to your other student. You're going to say, yeah, that's right, or whatever. And then you're going to come back down to Terrence and he's still thinking. Maybe he types another answer. And all right, cool. He got that one right, so he's going to keep going. When he's typing these answers, it is going to show up as unread. And so you're just going to make sure, right? So this one, for whatever reason, the VMH did not auto-grade it. So we want to make sure that we're there to grade it and make it go faster. So this is kind of what class looks like on your end. This is what you're going to see during class. You notice that Terrence and I are not having a verbal conversation. And then for the most part, I'm on video, but I'm not necessarily looking at it all the time. If I don't hear from him for a while, I might go and check in and say, oh, okay, well, he's still there, so he's fine. That's good. And then, I'm going to be checking back on Simply Book all the time to see if anybody new signed up and things of that nature. But for the most part, for me personally, what I have open at all times is going to be Slack and then the Google Drive, just to make sure that I have that ability to send files really quickly. Questions about any of that, obviously send them over, and that's all for today.